All right, welcome back, everybody, to Appreciating Comic Book Art. Today we're doing Jim Lee's X-Men #1, the iconic issue that, in my, sold 8 million copies. I think it changed the landscape at the time. Like books like this were just not. You didn't see stuff like this. I mean, the art top notch. The production with arts, inks, colors, the writing. Of course, you had Claremont. I think Jim took over after issue 3, but I think Claremont was still kind of on to help script and all that kind of stuff. Or Jim, I think, was taking on the first time, kind of like plotting or whatever you want to call it. Um, but I've been wanting to do this for a little while, and I feel like today is as good day as any. So I thank you all for joining me and spending a couple minutes with me. So first off, if you like this channel, please subscribe, hit that like button, hit the bell for notifications, share it, and let's roll. So this is the 5-issue fold out, or the 5-cover fold out that they would release after all the individual issues came out. But this is the one I've got all these issues, but I've got a bunch of these as well. I've got one that's signed by Jim specifically that I try not to touch, but this was the book. I remember getting this version of the book, just blew me away because it has all the extras at the end that we'll go through. But this was Jim at the peak of his run, right? He's coming off Uncanny X-Men, and he just was just kicking it, knocking it out of the park. He was on a mission. He was on a mission to show that he was the man. And I love the stuff he does in Wildcats. But before he kind of like took that hiatus and then came back with Hush, I mean, he did books and obviously did other books in between there. But if you circle back to a point in his career, if you really want to look at the quality of work that he was doing, the experimenting with his style, obviously Scott Williams had a lot to do with that as well. But I would say, to me, this X-Men run, and specifically X-Men 1 through 3, and I might have to do a couple videos to actually cover those issues as well, #2 and #3, because this whole series, this whole story, this run of 1 through 3 was probably one of my favorites of my entire childhood. It's got so many memories. But just, man, what a beautiful shot, right? I mean, just like there's so much going on in this panel, or in this page, this double page spread. And this is what you love to see as a kid. He's big in your face, full of detail. I mean, the shot of Magneto in space, and just that's the kind of thing that sends your imagination running when you're a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, and you're reading this book and you're just like, wow, like I can't believe what I'm seeing. And Jim Lee's art just captured it so beautifully. Uh, especially like a younger reader getting into X-Men for the first time, because I didn't follow a lot of the Uncanny books. I was a little young, so this was right at my peak of getting and understanding what comics were, what stories were, what art was. So this was like what I was taking in. It was a great jumping off point for me for issue 1. It's kind of like a soft reboot, if that's what you want to call it, with the series, and obviously the art team of Jim Lee. This is what made him my favorite artist for the longest time. He was probably my first favorite artist, and it's because of stuff like this. Just gorgeous, gorgeous art. Like the women are sexy, the curves, the men are attractive. Like the muscles pop, everything that you want out of a comic book. And besides all that, this issue, I mean, if you don't know a lot what's going on, this actually might have been the first time they introduced the Danger Room. Am I correct on that? Somebody comment below and let me know. I might be wrong on that, but I thought that this was the first time they kind of brought up the Danger Room. So you jump into this issue and you kind of wondering why they're fighting each other. You realize, obviously, as you read it, it's a training exercise, blah, 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 but you get to see the X-Men actually go against each other. And it's actually a foreshadowing for what would happen later in issue 3. But you get to see some of these guys go toe to toe with the various groups, and like this. I can't tell you how much this brings back memories. This shot of Wolverine and Gambit and Psylocke in the sewer, just so well done. And like these are 2 of my favorite characters. I mean, who doesn't like Psylocke? This shot of Colossus, Archangel, such a great character. This book was just filled with the A-talent characters in action. It's just such an iconic. I mean, this shot right here is so well done. The action, just the poses, and getting down here, Gambit stealing a kiss from what turns out to not be Jean Grey, but as a kid, you're just like, whoa, like I want to be Gambit when I grow up. Like it's that smooth lady killer, and just again, shot after shot, panel after panel in this book is just some of the best work. And then I read an article. Scott Williams said that they were under the gun to get this issue out, and the fact that it came out with such high quality, I still think is some of Jim's best work with issue 1, issue 2, and issue 3, and panels like this, storytelling. Like, when I saw that as a kid, I was like, whoa, it literally blew me away. And you can probably tell in my voice, like there's a certain amount of excitement when I go over this issue because of what it meant to me as the 10-year-old or 11-year-old self reading this book for the first time. And I read this book thousands of times. I wore out issues, and I had to buy more and more issues because I would just wear it out. The Magneto stuff was great. And I didn't really know that much about Magneto at the time. So it was kind of my first introduction to that character. And what an introduction it was. Like a lot of the story I didn't know, like you have to follow what this is all about, but it was just like, as a kid, I didn't care. I was just looking at the art. I was just like, man, it sucks you in. Another great shot here. Gambit riding Beast as they're jumping out of the sorry, excuse me, I've been talking a lot today. Again, every page I think just has a great shot. This is just awesome. The lighting is great. The action is awesome. Every single page I think of this book has something that really just pops off the page. Psylocke, for obvious reasons, looks great. I don't think I have to say any more than that. And of course, you get Rogue getting blown up there towards the end, and you're like, oh no, it's a little kid. What happened? But you forget that she's pretty much invulnerable. But yeah, we're just getting to the end. I'm gonna do issues 2 and 3 because it's just I'm having too much fun right now. Too much fun just looking at this beautiful work. There you go, fastball special. I mean, it's just iconic shot after iconic shot, and it's all from like this issue. That's what's so. I mean, you see this image in like Wizard magazine and other advertisements in the 90s, and I would say that you'd see quite a bit of that from this issue 1, and just a great cliffhanger there with Magneto showing up. So let's jump here. Some of the extras of this fold out book. You got the Rogues Gallery, the things to come. Just a great shot there. Omega Red was always one of my favorites. Just very menacing looking. Oh, that's it? They don't have the rest of it? Ah. Well, I apologize. That's not cool because there's so much more to those pinups that they don't have in there. I gotta say, people, I'm a little disappointed. I'm gonna write a note. I'm gonna write a letter. Let them know it's not cool. I don't like it. So anyway, I appreciate everybody joining me for this video. This was a fun trip down memory lane, and I will do issues 2 and 3 in the future. They might not be the next videos I do, but I'll get 2 and 3 out because, again, this was one of my favorite story arcs, and it was just a short story arc, just a 3-issue series. But there was so much that went on, so many cool dynamics, so many cool characters, and the art was fantastic. Jim Lee, highly recommend this. Go check it out. Buy as many copies as you can. And till next time, I appreciate you all joining me. Check out my other channel, Odd and Stuff. I'll drop a link if I remember. Every day or every Friday at 8:30. We have fun shows, good guests on, good conversations over there. So I appreciate everyone. I will talk to you all later. Peace.